have remaining portions from the earlier class, that IP valuations. This is also important for reference to job perspectives and others. Just like I will give the basics of those kinds of things. Then I will show you some case studies with reference to the IP. So, now valuations. If I consider evaluate a land, how can you give a value of a land in a specific area? Just like a land value is also differs for the same land that differs from one area to others area, but somehow you will able to measure the land, but it is difficult for an intellectual or intangible asset, because it is difficult to measure that IP specifically. Means how will you measure the patents? You can measure the land, it is 1 kata or 1 decimals, but how will you measure the IP? So, that make the valuations of your intellectual property more difficult. So, definitely it will depends upon the different parameters, although I told you that here also the different parameters means rural, urban are there, but till it is easier by means of comparison you able to get a value or get an idea of the value, but how will you consider the value of the Google brand, or let us say value of Wipro brand, or value of a particular technology or patents of an Wipro. So, there lies the valuation. Why it is important? It is important in respect of transactions. It is important with reference to later on will come up taxations. It may be important with reference to the insurance. It is also important in respect of claiming damages. So, valuation is an important parameter in respect of getting money from your intellectual property. Okay. So, what are the different methods are available for valuations? So, generally they are told referred is cost based method, income based method, and market based method. There are other methods are also evolving, just like say fuzzy tools, just like a fuzzy, if you get a fuzzy based or new, just like a computer software based method, fuzzy neural network based methods can be applicable, because here also lots of parameters are there. Similarly, sometimes people try to develop the method based on option pricings method, just like then also decision tree analysis based tools can be applicable for valuation of the patents. Now, cost based method simplified part, just sometime what cost incurred in respect of creation or some respect of others, means let us say cost means potential threat and cost, all the cost involved. Sometime I refer the cost with reference to the creation of rights, then in maintenance cost and opportunity cost, means some opportunity cost, or say sometime we call in respect of tangible thing we call depreciation, that okay, that some aspect it will loss. Here also some opportunity cost you may kept in that. So, that way you are thinking about the what will be the potential value of that IP in respect of today. In cost based method also we have others part, sometime we call reproduction cost based method, or replacement cost based method. Just like a replacement cost based method means, let us say a particular brand is there in the markets. Now without affecting market, you want to just like say create another brand without affecting market. So, you are replacing one brand by others without impacting the market. Just let us say consider, sometime I give the example of Apollo. Let us say Apollo suddenly closed. Now another brand have been trying to replace that in without affecting the markets, means understood that part. So, what cost they have to incur with reference to that business, that means advertisement, promotions and all sorts of thing. That cost may be considered the replacement cost. So, replacement cost may be considered the value of the brand called Apollo. So, that way replacement cost based method is also applicable for valuation of patents or also IP, maybe trademark or brand valuations. Similarly, income based method means, let us say income, how you have a potential patents. Now, you may consider that it will ultimately generate a potential income out of that. So, now you may consider that okay, first year you now consider patents, you are classifying 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this way 20 years. Now, let us say you got the patent in second year, in third years you able to capture market segment X %, fourth year let us say Y %, like this way you able to capture, will able to, for assuming that you will able to capture the market segment on that way, and based on that sale also changing each years. So, and unit price also you are considering. So, in considering the year 3 May month, you want to evaluate your IP patent considering your 20 years period of protection. Then you are thinking about whatever the potential income you may consider with reference to that patents. Now, from that that based on market penetrations of your product, now what will be the approximate sale of your product and all those things you are considering. Then you are means that way you are trying to evaluate that considering today's context. Then you have to consider that inflations or say interest rate generated out for the, you have to deduct that gross. So, you will get gross present value based on that. Then put up a discount cash flow, discount cash flow discount minus discount cash flow discount means discount cash flow means considering the interest part and inflation part and others, you are just deducting from the gross present value. Then you may get it a net present value of that patents or that IP. Sometime it will refer as DCF, discount cash flow method, DCF method. This is most appropriate method for valuation of the patents. Similarly, others are also market based method, that is a market part, how the market is determining the value based on that. Okay, just sometime people refer it just like okay, what is the say similar or equivalent types of technology is say somebody is selling, just like you consider a company is acquiring another company, what is the transaction did, Renvexi, consider that Renvexi or say other pharma company, and why they are acquiring with reference to the potential IP. Now, consider what the acquisition value. Now, considering your part, your patents is also similarity or similarness of the your patent with reference to the that acquisition. Then you may considering that a comparison based method, and you may thought about what can be the value of my patent may be. So, that way market based method is also available. So, these are the different things for valuation of patents, that how can you evaluate your IP, how can you evaluate your brand. This is also important parameters in respect of IP management, why I already referred. I am not going in details of each of the methods, but you should study at least the cost based method, income based method for valuation of patents, and say cost based method for valuation of brand. And if you are able to evolve a appropriate valuation model using the software tool, then you can get a lot of credit for that. Okay. So, that is evaluation components. Then other aspects, just by IP health check, freedom to operate search, IP intelligence mapping, those are the different software tools are available for that kinds of things, and the technical tools are there also available. Similarly, now in respect to softwares also in the form of IP, software IP audit, how can you do that, open source, proprietary source, things are there, proprietary software and open source softwares are there. So, that are also applicable. So, now say IP management part, the things you should learn means, let us say IP audit, IP due diligence, IP assessment, IP strategy, how can you strategize your IP with reference to the business goal of the organization, with reference to the goal or missions of the institutes. Then IP assessment, then IP landscape analysis for a business entity. It is most essential components, that IP landscape analysis. Then IP health check. Then another component within the purview of landscape is called freedom to operate search. Then IP intelligence mapping. All those elements are there in the purview of IP management. So, you should read all those things. Now, I will just give you some show you some case studies with reference to the IP, and also I will visit some sites specifically to call WIPO sites. From those sites, I will show you the benefits of the IP based on case study specific. Just like say a case study with reference to the drug in patents, I have chosen here. Just like say, consider for diabetic patient, daily injection are an uncomfortable and often painful part of life. You know that for diabetic patient you have to go for injection. So, instead of oral you have to go for injection. Now, with multiple injection required every day, anxiety and fears are typical emotions a patient may have when diagnosed with diabetes, especially for children and those with the fear of needles. See, so the background is the needle, just like say painful needle or painless needle. So, just like say consider we referred in respect to patent that problem solution approach. So, here the problem is that the painful part of a needle. So, now how can you solve that problem? So, that part has been done by Tero. Tero proposed a challenge to itself and make a needle so fine that it makes injection painless. See that? That means the simple invention, that needle, how can you design and produce a needle which will be fearless, painless, and so not much investment is required. So, Tero proposed a challenge. He thought about how can you solve that problem and developed a needle and for painless injection. Now, the useful method for manufacturing needles is to how, what is his invention is that how you develop that needle is that the method of manufacturing needles is to hollow out a teeny cylinders of metal, but it is extremely difficult to make a ultra thin needle this way, because the thinner the cylinder, more difficult the procedure become. You understood that the pressure part, so thin the cylinder, you are making the cylinder, understood, cylinder, then it is difficulty you have to face. Thermo quest for a ultra thin needle proved technically difficult, and after 1 year of research they were not making much progress. Okay. Thermo was turned down by a string of large metalworks firms which thought the Thermo's requirements were too impractical and essentially impossible. They are thinking, okay, it is not practically feasible, so it will not be it will be difficult to make that ultra thin needle. Okay. Thermo turned to Okano, a company whose skilled craftsmanship boast a high level of technology despite its small size. So then another company Okano is credited with developing the small lithium battery that made cellular telephones possible. The company is so skilled in its state that it has attached the attentions of major international corporations and governmental agencies such as NASA. Mr. Okano, the company's founder, had earned himself a reputation as a metalwork magician. So, see that Thermo to Okano. Now, Mr. Okano, the company's founder, had earned himself a reputation in metalworking magicians. Working together with Okano, Thermo was able to innovate the world's thinnest needle for insulin injection. Now, say Tero was behind that thinnest needle for insulin injection. So, say several years he tried, then he met the Okano, then with working together with Okano, Thermo was able to innovate the world's thinnest needle of insulin injection. After 5 years of research and development, Okano discovered a new method which defied expert and conventional method of needle manufacturing. So, how further they can improve the method of manufacturing for the cost part and others, they have done that. Instead of hollowing out a metal cylinder, Okano method takes a super thin sheet of stainless steel and roll it into a tiny tapered cylinder, which is then sealed by tightly welding the seams to ensure that it is not leak. Understood? Yes, if leakage occurs, then that purpose has gone. So, have to be leak proof also. So, now they are ultimately invented the method. So, this is the things, the drawing of his patent. So, Thermo filed a patent under PCT, Patent Cooperation Treaty in 2030, published for its taper liquid introducing injection needle. So, patent title was taper liquid injection introducing injection needle. By 2010, the company had hundreds of PCT applications. The new syringe is marketed as NanoPass 33 syringe and went on to the market in July 2005. So, see that 2005. Besides its headquarters in Japan, Thermo has location and subsidiaries throughout the world, including Australia, Brazil, China, Germany, United States. Subsidiary companies focus on commercializing the specific product categories such as those for hospital use versus those for home use. So, hospital purpose use, hospital use in certain geographical region. The NanoPose 33 syringe is communicated by commercialized by Thermo through different subsidiaries such as Diabetes Department of Thermo Europe NV for European market, Thermo itself for Japanese market. Like this way, a defined subsidiary has been created. So, see that the simple idea turned to how many say patents and how many he will able to capture the different markets out of the simple idea. So, this is one of the case study I have taken from WIPO. I have already referred that source from where I have taken that case study. Similarly, Another case studies I have taken from that sites also. I am also referring that as a source part. This is say only for educational purposes. I am using those things. Don't copy it and put it in a multiple copy and put it in a site for commercial purposes. So that may lead to the copyright violations also. Just simply refer those things for educational purposes. So now similar thing, Mr. Milan V. Rane, an Indian inventor. So I have taken an Indian case studies also, was a freelance consultant when he conceived and developed the design for the matrix heat recovery unit MHRU. The invention related to a heat exchangers and so simply heat exchanger, an innovative compact design to heat fluid using waste heat from exhaust. And so he that what I referred, that lots of heat exhausted and if you go for a waste heat recovery by using some heat exchangers, that will be somehow save the energy. So considering that problem was that how can you recover heat from waste heat. So he has designed some matrix heat recovery unit, mean heat exchangers for that. So can be used to heat variety of fluid. It can recover heat from hot gases or vapor from engine and gensets, boilers or furnaces. So that heat exchangers is ultimately recovering or able to say minimize the heat, so somehow utilizing their heat loss, exhaust heat, and able to give some potential heat out of that, or it is recovered. It is recovered in the form of a steam or hot water or thermic fluid. The inventive stuff. So now he is trying to create this by means of some hot water or hot thermic fluid. So not water or fluid, what type of steams or that part. Inventive steps of the MHRO was the combination of at least two sets of heat transfer passages encapsulated in a conducting matrix. So what is the heat exchanger design? He has made it to make it more efficient and to use it for waste heat recovery unit specifically. So how he has designed that part, wherein one of the set carries one of the sets carries hot gases and the heat recovery fluid passes through the other sets. So from one the hot gases and heat recovery fluid passes to the other sets. Rennie's invention scores over conventional design in terms of compactness, safety, flexibility. So how this invention is considering that to be a patentable invention understood. What is the inventive steps of his invention? That part is referred with reference to the cost part and technical advancement part already referred. What technical advancement he has done, and also flexibility and cost reduction is another component, that by virtue of that also his invention and qualifying the criteria of inventive steps. So definitely it is also considered a potential invention to be patentable. So then what he has done subsequently. So what is then following the demonstration of the invention to the company, Dr. Rane signs a memorandum of understanding with Unidyne by which a license was granted to Unidyne to manufacture and sell the MHRU as an engine exhaust, fire steam generator and water and thermic heaters. Okay. So say that is the say maybe that non-disclosure agreement, MAU sign, MAUs along with the non-disclosure agreement, everything was there. So maybe within the purview of idea and proof of concept part. Now a provisional patent application for MHU was filed in India in 1999 after successful demonstration of the invention to Unidyne. So inventor is Mr. Rane. Then he has shared that part component by means of some MOU with the Unidyne. Then who has filed that application? Unidyne. They filed the provisional patent applications in India in 1999 after successful demonstration of the invention to Unidyne. So demonstration of the invention all may have been happen based on non-disclosure agreement. So because if he disclose that thing in those things, then that may lead to the destruction of the novelty of his invention. So see that how say even that idea, then demonstration, everything is done in confidence, that part. is not referred, but you have to think that invention was licensed on the basis of these patent applications. So, the invention was licensed even after filing, that has done based on equitable right these applications, and cost of patent filing and maintenance was borne by Unidyne. So, Unidyne ultimately bear the cost of filing and all the things. Following the signing of that of the MOU, even before the patent was granted for the invention, as many as 45 MHRU was installed in various companies in India. So, then before the patent granted, everything is done. So, you see that initially MHRU was marketed through Unidyne's existing network. Subsequently, an original equipment manufacturer OEM contract was signed with Cummins Diesel Sales and Services. So, how further they are taking care of the marketing part. So, they have not capabilities when say they are going for Cummins Diesel and Sales Services for marketing part. So, this is another case, one's case studies, just like a simple problem, that waste heat recovery, then how to design a simple heat exchanger out of that, then how you are getting returns, means from an idea to an invention to a patentable invention to a commercial product. See that a commercial product has installed in 45, so 45 measure was installed in various companies in India even before the grant, and subsequently find out that it is marketed by Cummins Diesel Sales and Services. So, this is one part, and you will get subsequent things, lot of others case studies, specifically let us say consider copyrights and let us say commercialization. From these sites, this is the case studies of intellectual property management. You will get, you should visit this site. I am just showing you how to do it, copyright and related rights, and let us take commercialization. Now, do search. So, see that you will getting the different say 45 records find that how say developing affordable software for small business that is country territories Jordan, United Kingdom Software and Computer Services. See that, see the case studies with reference to that. So, how that connect our world in a way of that if you go that these are the one of the things with reference to the software part, how research and development part happen, then successful commercialization that thing is happen. So, then similar way, if you go back and see that geographic indication, let us say geographic indication and commercialization, see that geographic indication commercialization also you may get a tea lovers guide for climbing IP mountains, a drink cluster. Like this way you will get a series of case studies with reference to the geographic indications. Then let us take an industrial design and commercialization. You will get the strong name, half century in the making. That's like this way different design as clear as water. Let us see how many springs. This is a different way. That's a and respect of patents. I already referred few. You will get series of case studies for that also. Commercialization patent that I have given to here. You will get a number of cases, case studies for IP patents commercialization part. See, these are the different part commercialization related patents cases in different jurisdiction. You should read those things. Similarly, integrated circuits related things also will get commercialization part, and you may get it different things also. Yeah, integrated circuit commercialization, take it that part also you may get it from let us say containing the food for our futures, that way thing. So, that way this from this side you just read, let us say utility model commercialization, you may choose things and see that part, case related things, success stories with reference to those things, that will give you an idea and importance of this subject. So, definitely visit these sites for your further understanding with reference to that value, and with get an idea with reference to the IP management perspectives also. So, this is overall with reference to the course with reference to IP for engineers and technologists. And the important parameters is that how to know and identify the potential IP, and subsequent step is that how to get return out of your IP, then how you consider that as an important assets. If you an individual, how will you commercialize that by means of creating a startup or simply licensing, or further how can you develop or enlarge the scope of your IP based on say patent of additions or another patent. So further subsequently how can you diversify your patent portfolio. That is also an important area for our engineers people specifically. You have learned that components also from these subjects. So take home lessons from this subject is specifically say that how to create an IP or how to identify an IP, how to create an IP, then identify the IP, then transaction of the IP, then management of the IP, and say commercialization of the IP. Although IP enforcement is not your job, but how can you avoid the IP enforcement? That part you can do based on freedom to operate search. Then how can you strategize the IP? How can you do an IP audit? How can you do an IP health check? Those are the other important areas for you engineers and technologists. So that is also a take home lessons from this course specifically.